Hello, John Perivale here with this week's weekly roundup of chamber music and recitals and solo music, all the great live performances we could find for you that are going to be happening online this week. So I hope you're ready. In the old days, I would have said have your pen and pencil ready to take notes, but you don't need to. We give you the dates, times, and links of everything that I'm talking about in the description, so that so you can, all you have to do is click and go to anything we talk about when the time comes. So let's get right to it. This week we have old music, we have new music, we have contemporary themed music going on. It's just bursting at the seams, is what I said. Bursting at the seams with Livestreams which is the title of this one. So let's start out right away. Thursday afternoon, the Gotham early music scene in New York City is back in the Midtown Concerts series with a live stream of a powerhouse trio of Rita Lilly, Clea Galhano, and Peter Sykes playing, of course, early music. I call them a powerhouse. Just listen to these credentials. Maybe you already, if you're an early music specialist, you may well know them already. Rita Lilly, as soprano, is the choral director at Mills College. I had a girlfriend at Mills College when I went to Stanford. She was terrific. Anyway, I digress, but I can't hear Mills College without thinking of her because she was a wonderful person. And if she ever stumbles on this, Nancy Grace, I still remember you to this day. Anyway, she has recorded on, Rita Lilly has recorded on EMI Angel label, the Musical Heritage, Naxos, and Music Master labels. She's a known quantity. On the recorder, Clea Galhano, who teaches at McAllister College and also at the Jacobs School of Music at IU, Indiana University, which is nothing to sneeze at. And she's the music director of the Recorder Orchestra of the Midwest. And then finally, last but not least, it's Peter Sykes on the harpsichord. Peter is the associate professor of music and chair of the historical performance department at Boston University, which he also teaches at Juilliard. And he's the director of music at the First Church of in Cambridge, Congregational, while he's not too busy doing everything else. All three of them know each other from participating together in the San Francisco Early Music Society Baroque Workshop out on the West Coast. We do not have the specifics of the program, I'm sorry, but they tell us that they will be exploring joy, loss, pain, sorrow, and tranquility through the exploration of the high Baroque German and instrumental repertoire. Trust them to know how to do that. It's free of charge. I commend it to you this Thursday. Happy Halloween. And I forgot, I have to back this up. This is at, it's 1:15 p.m. on the East Coast, 10:15 on the West Coast, and 6:15 in the evening in Europe. And it's on YouTube, free of charge. If you do tune into it, as always, I'd like to remind you, say hello to Access Arts Live while you're there, okay? And now I can say, once again, it's free of charge. If you're an early music lover, enjoy it. If you're not, this is a great chance to learn about some of the early music from some of the best people, and it costs you nothing, much less than it would cost you to walk in the door of any early music concert in the United States. Now, if old music is not your thing, then maybe you would like some new music, some now music. 6 hours later on Halloween, if you're not too busy handing out or seeking trick-or-treats. Also from New York City, Composers Concordance is back this week. They're around every week with a live stream. Now, this one is music which was expressly composed for this event. It is a composer's competition between Gene Pritzker and Charles Coleman. Now, if you know who Gene Pritzker is, I talk about him all the time here because every week they're coming up in our chamber music live streams. Gene Pritzker is a guitarist who believes in blurring all the lines between classical, jazz, electronic music, spoken word. And so he does that regularly. And he has these musicians, classical musicians and jazz musicians, highly talented, who come from all over the world to hang out with Composers Concordance and do crazy things. So this one, it's going to be both Gene and Charles, who are colleagues, but also have different ideas about composition, have composed 4 different pieces for clarinet, violin, and soprano. And their friend, Mark Kostabi, will be judging, based on these compositions, who's the best composer, or apparently, supposedly. And their friendly poet, Robert C. Ford, will be adding words to it. And mezzo-soprano Cishel Clavery will also be singing some poems of Imelda O'Reilly. If you like music, which is now, music doesn't get any more now than this. That's at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 4 o'clock on the West Coast, midnight in Europe, and 10 a.m. in the morning on Friday, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and live streamed on the Facebook page of Composers Concordance. We give you the link. Now, while we're on the subject, I want to jump ahead and also tell you about another Now Music concert, which is happening. What I'm doing today is I'm going through all of the free concerts first, and then we will get to the concerts that you have to pay to listen to. So, Sunday, November 3rd, Constellation Chicago, which, like Composers Concordance in New York City, is devoted to very, very new music, what I would call now music, is putting on and live streaming a musical event called Rhythm is Image, with Jamie Monk on the electric guitar and Hannah Barnes handling the electronics. Rhythm is Image is the brainchild, so to speak, of Hannah Barnes. I've got a picture of the two of them. Where is it? There it is. There's Hannah Barnes and Jamie Monk. For your viewing pleasure. She's still a student at McGill University, and she has done other compositions for prepared harp at the Darmstadt summer courses. She's done a piano percussion work on commission by the Flanau Duo, and she's done a large ensemble work for McGill University's Contemporary Music Ensemble. Jamie Monk is a big new music advocate, but he's also a great fan of the Bach Chaconne. And his recent performances include taking part in the Lexington Bach Marathon, but also the Ball State University New Music Festival, Experimental Sound Studio in Chicago, New Music Gathering, and more. He's premiered new works by a lot of different composers, and most of it's available on Bandcamp. So this is Constellation Chicago, Rhythm is Image, Sunday, November 3rd, 8:30 p.m. Chicago Standard Time, which is 6:30 on the West Coast, 9:30 on the East Coast, 3:30 in the morning in Europe, and 1:30 in the afternoon down in Australia. Again, if you like now music, Constellation Chicago gives it to you. However, I should add one other thing. It's not completely free of charge. We give you the YouTube link, so you can just go to it and watch it for free. But they ask you also go to another link, which we give you, and kindly pay $7.22 in US dollars or 6.50 euros in order to watch it and to support the artist. Getting back to the free of charge concerts. The Kennedy Center Millennium Stage, bless their hearts, they have a highly active live streaming program with several concerts or other events being live streamed week by week. It's terrific. If you don't know it, go check it out. They do a lot of other music besides the kind of classical stuff that generally we promote here. And on Friday, November 1st at 6 o'clock in the evening, Eastern Time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the West Coast, 11 o'clock in the evening in Europe, and 9 in the morning on Saturday in Australia, the Kennedy Center Millennium Stage will be live streaming a duo of 2 artists from the National Symphony Orchestra. And I have a picture of these 2 artists for you too, because this is not the first time around the block for Natasha Bogacek and Wan Chi Su. And I think you can see that Natasha is the one on the right and Wan Chi Su is the one on the left. Natasha is the violinist and Wan Chi Su is on piano. They'll be performing Ernest Chausson's poem opus 25, Eugène Issai's Mazurka du Salon, the Mazurka of the Salon, in G major, opus 10, and César Franck's Sonata in A major. It's a way to enjoy a lovely, free of charge live stream on YouTube. If you do log on, please, and you see us, Access Arts Live, in the comment section on YouTube, do say hello to us. And even if we're not there, say hello to the moderator and tell them, hey, Access Arts Live sent me here to enjoy this. Finally, we have one more free concert or free live stream to tell you about. I'm very, very happy about this because I am as a performing artist, most of my work has been as an actor on stage and on screen, not as a movie star, but as an actor, a working actor. And we have a great show coming up for you on Sunday, which is theatrical. Sunday afternoon in Western London, as usual, St. Mary's Perivale is live streaming a very special musical and theatrical event being performed by accomplished artists who absolutely know what they're doing because they've done this sort of thing before. It's actor Christopher Kent and pianist Gamal Kamas performing Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis with music by Mendelssohn. I have a picture of them that I can show you at work together. When I tell you that they have worked together before, what I mean is they have done a series of these kind of spoken word and music things before. They started working together in 2016 with a piece called Never Such Innocence, which was a narrative recital of words and music from the First World War, and everybody loved it. Then in 2019, they did a piece called Odyssey, Words and Music of Finding Home, which was, they worked with specially commissioned works by 6 contemporary poets and composers. Then they're not done. 2020, they did Enoch Arden by Strauss, Tennyson, and this was live streamed at St. Mary's Perivale. It led to subsequent performances in London, around the UK, was recorded on a critically acclaimed CD streaming release by Psalm Recordings. And then in 2022, they did An Exquisite Harmony, the lives, loves, and music of Robert Clara Schumann and Johannes Brahms. Now, if you're asking yourself, I don't know if you would wonder about this, you might ask yourself, why would Shakespeare, a playwright, why would he be writing this long narrative poem? Well, because it was written during the plague years in London when the theaters were closed. Sound familiar to those of you who have lived as the rest of us has through the COVID shutdown of everything? So there's almost like historical precedent for this. It's a retelling of a tale by Ovid, and Shakespeare was fascinated with Ovid and some of the other classic writers. Now, Mendelssohn did compose incidental music for Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, but the music for this piece, it's pieces that come from the 8-volume Songs Without Words, which Mendelssohn composed over a period of about 16 years in the 1830s and early 1840s. Which were terribly popular at its time. But if I told you what they were, this is not going to ring any bells for you. Opus 102, Book 8, Number 1 in E minor is not going to sing to you. But I'm telling you, these two guys have put on terrific theatrical musical pieces in the past. This one is on commission from the Stratford Shakespeare Music Festival, where it will be performed next year. This is not one that you want to miss. I highly recommend it. I will be there watching this on the live stream, and I hope the numbers of people viewing go through the roof. Please don't let me down. Show up or blow up. Well, now we get past the free of charge live streams, and we're into those which come at a cost. The first, but they're high quality. I can't say that they're not worth the cost. The first one is this. This is Angela Hewitt, who she's, well, how do you describe Angela Hewitt? The people at 92Y who will be live streaming her say that she's piano royalty. She has recorded all of the major keyboard works of Bach. She has solo recordings of the complete Beethoven sonatas, Scarlatti, Handel, Couperin, Rameau, Haydn, Chopin, Schumann, Liszt, Fauré, Debussy, Chabrier, Ravel, Granados, and Messiaen. She has won 4 Juno Awards. Need I go on? Now, this concert is being, we have discovered 92Y, which are doing live streaming. Possibly they've been doing it all along, but whether or not they have or not, now they are, and we're going to be talking to you about their live streams. So this is Angela Hewitt doing this particular live stream. It's at noon on Wednesday, October 30th, Eastern time, which is 9 o'clock on the West Coast and 5 o'clock in the evening in Europe, which means it's in about a little less than 2 hours from the time when I am doing this live stream right now. So what a day you have for you if you want. You have Angela Hewitt at 5 o'clock European time or noon US time, and then a little later, as we've already reminded you, this evening in Europe at 8 o'clock, which is going to be 3 o'clock on the East Coast and noon on the West Coast, is Alexander, the terrific the pianist who played in the rain at the Paris Olympic opening ceremonies, because the Munich Phil is doing an all Russian music concert. I put out my head is here now in this stuff, in the chamber music stuff. But if you go look at our webpage, we did a separate notice about that. There's so much going on, I can hardly keep up with it. Anyway, Angela is going to be playing Mozart's Fantasia in C minor, Kerschel 475, Mozart's Sonata in C minor, Kerschel 457. I'm giving you the Kerschel numbers because, well, with royalty. Bach's Chromatic Fantasia and Fugue in D minor, Handel's Chaconne in G major, and Brahms's Variations and Fugues. Well, why is Brahms in here if she's playing like Mozart and Bach and Handel? Because it's a Variations and Fugue on a theme by Handel, Opus 24. If you love this kind of early music, you're not going to find a better person playing it than Angela Hewitt. Again, a little later this week on Friday, November 1st, 7:30 in the evening, 4:30 in the afternoon on the West Coast, half an hour after midnight in Europe, and 10:30 in the morning in Australia. 92Y is back live streaming the Junction Trio. And I have a picture of the Junction Trio for you too. This is Stefan Yakiv, Jay Campbell on the violin, Jay Campbell on the cello, Conrad Tao on piano. They'll be doing Shostakovich's Piano Trio No. 2 in E minor, John Zorn's Philosophical Investigations No. 2, and Brahms's Piano Trio No. 1 in B major, Opus 8. I cannot go in too much detail about everybody. I'm already almost at 20 minutes, and this is going to be, there's so much going on, I can't make them shorter, but I can tell you, these guys are all heavy hitters. Conrad Tao, he composes on commission for the New York Philharmonic. So just as an example. Then another pay-per-view live stream comes to you on Halloween, October 31st, 7:30 in the evening. And on the East Coast, 4:30 on the West Coast. Again, a half an hour after midnight in Europe, and 10:30 in the morning on Friday morning. In Australia, the Peggy Rockefeller concerts are live streaming the Isidore String Quartet. This comes to you at a cost of $35 US, or about 32, 33 euros. We will give you the link to the Isidore String Quartet. They are violinist Adrian Steele and Phoenix Avalon, violist Devin Moore, and cellist Joshua McClendon. They're the winners of the 14th Banff International String Quartet Competition, 2022. They were founded 5 years ago, in 2019, out of admiration for the Juilliard Quartet And they say their goal is to approach the established as if it were new and the new as if it were established. Once again, we do not have their specific program. And I do have to ask, is it not curious to ask people to pay $35 to enjoy a live stream when they don't know what the content of the live stream is going to be? I mean, I have to say that is something of a mystery to me. There's one more concert that I think we want to be telling you about. I think that we have up, yes, Sunday, November 3rd. On Sunday, November 3rd, at 5 o'clock in the evening, European time, 2 o'clock on the West Coast, 11 in the evening in Europe, and 9 o'clock in the morning, Monday, in Australia, the Brooklyn Art Song Society is back with another of their excellent and very sophisticated early music concerts. This one is called Histories 2, Medieval. Now, this is not free of charge. We give you the link to the Brooklyn Arts Society VHX TV link. They require you to subscribe for a month to their website for $10.99, which is about €9. It's actually also about $11. I want to point out there's a wealth of archival information of all kinds about early music on that website. Not only that, but they appear to be doing live streams on a regular basis. So you're not paying $10.99 for one live stream. You're paying $10.99 for a month's worth of early music live streams. And if you love early music, this may really be worth it to you. And if you don't know early music, this may be an economical way of finding out about it. Now they have a couple of sopranos that are coming in to sing, Elizabeth Marshall and Sarah Lameche and Jennifer Zetland, a mezzo, Aaron Wagner, and then two pianists participating in this, Nana Shee and Michael Brofman. Now, what's interesting about this concert is it's music by American composers, but American composers who are working off of ancient texts from 1,000 years ago. So they start with Samuel Barber's Hermit Songs, which is based on the old Marginalia text. Then they'll be doing two pieces by Libby Larsen. I'll tell you a little bit about more in a second because she's interesting to me. Okay, I always like to find at least one person that's of special interest. They'll be doing Donal Oj and the Magdalene by Libby Larsen. Then they'll be doing Gilda Lyons's Songs of Lament and Praise, and then an arrangement of selected works by Guillaume de Machaut. Well, he's not American, no, but the arranger is David Ludwig from Juilliard, and this is a world premiere. Now, we're told that there's a pre-concert lecture at 4:30 p.m. by David Ludwig, but I don't know if it's part of the live stream or not. You'll have to find out from them. I don't have an answer. Let me tell you about this Libby Larsen, though, because this is another one of these fantastic women composers, which I'm supposed to know about, and I don't. You know, I'm just discovering her along with a lot of other women composers. So mea culpa, but here's a picture of her. She's terrific. I think she's, well, let's not get into age. She's a multiple Grammy Award winner. You can look her up. I don't know if we put her link in the list of links we gave you, but look up LibbyLarsen.com and you'll find her. That's Larsen, Alarsen. Let me give you a couple quotes from her. Well, this is the one that I really like because it's so much what I've been thinking and feeling recently. She said, music exists in an infinity of sound. She went on to say, I think of all music as existing in the substance of the air itself. It's the composer's task to order and make sense of sound in time and space, to communicate something about being alive through music. And my own feeling is that the music exists. It's out there. Like all the sound that has been created has in it all the possibilities for music. And what the composer does is find it. Which is why, you know, like a child like Mozart could come up with all this music. He wasn't making it up. He was finding it. He was like a little kid finding all these toys or plants in the forest or something like that. He was excellent at finding things. Anyway, I think even if it's just for the sake of hearing Libby Larson's music. If you don't know it, it's worthwhile, and it's worth that $10.99 a month to the Brooklyn Art Song Society, so you can enjoy their lovely early music offerings for a song for a month. Enjoy. There's just a few topical pieces left that I want to mention to you really quickly. The Northwest Chamber Orchestra and Chorus is doing a concert on Sunday evening at 3. Well, the specific times you'll find in the comment section. It's called Our Common Faith. It's all about electoral issues. And so they'll be playing a couple pieces by David Lang, the national anthem, Statement to the Court. They'll be playing pieces by Nicholas Klein, Joel Thompson, and again, Guillaume de Machaut comes up again, a piece called Tu qui gregem, plange regni res publica. My Latin's a little rusty, but that has something to do with saving the republic, I believe. And so there's an election next week, and this is an election-themed concert. It's free of charge, I believe. Is it? It's pay what you can. There's a YouTube link that we give you, but then there's a second link where they ask you to pay what you can. And then there are two more thematic related concerts having to do with this weekend of Halloween and All Saints and All Souls. St. David's Music Series at St. David's Church, Baltimore, their choir is doing Songs of Farewell and All Saints concerts on Friday evening. That's including works of C.H.H. Perry, Edgar Benton, and Douglas Buchanan, commemorating All Saints Day. And then Epiphany's Seattle on Sunday, November 3rd, in the early evening on the West Coast, will be doing the Foray Requiem. Both of those concerts are free of charge. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this rundown of all the live streaming that is of Chamber Works, which is going on this week. There's so much. The online is starting to burst at the seams with this. When I started doing this kind of live streaming back in May, because I had this idea, let us promote these live streams. Let's try to increase the global audience for them step by step. I had to work to come up with 4 or 5 a week. But now there's so many that I have to do, one live stream for the big guns, the orchestras and operas and ballets. Then I have to do another one for all the organ recitals. And then I have to do another one for all the chamber music. I mean, it's exploded. It's turning into full-time work. So I hope you appreciate it. I encourage you, add us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook, because that may eventually enable me to be able to monetize some of this. We do all the work so that you can just click and go. Why? Because I believe that it's almost sacred, this experience where a performing artist, as I have been myself, out of love, create an experience of truth and beauty to share with you in the now, in the real time, with everybody in the performance hall audience, but also in the audiences following it remotely. And more of these live streams, you'll find at the end, the artist thinking not only the audience that's present in the hall, but those of us who are watching on the live stream. So tally ho, join the global online audience and let us experience this truth and beauty together all week long.